Hi friends, a very warm welcome to the world of CSoft. Today we are going to demonstrate the capabilities of two of the most acclaimed and state-of-the-art softwares developed by CSoft. The first one is Raster ID and is basically an image processing tool, and the second one is EDA, Electronic Drawing Archive, and is an indexing software. Of course, I'm going to discuss about EDA in the later half of this demo, so stay tuned, stay focused, and do not turn off your attention. Starting off with Raster ID, when you scan a drawing, you get this type of an image in Raster ID. It is mostly disoriented and highly speckled. This is where image enhancing features come in picture. All the image enhancing features like inversion, rotation, mirror imaging, deskewing, thickening and thinning, fading and resizing are present in the image menu bar on the top left corner. First we deskew the image using the auto mode. This automatically straightens the image. Let us now apply the speckle removing tool. The speckle remover dialog box opens up as soon as you click on the menu option. Here you can click directly on the apply button once, twice or more than once until all speckles get removed. Alternatively, you can also define the speckle size in the text box and all the speckles within the dimensions you have specified gets automatically removed. Now let us find out how crop works. We have several types of auto cropping and manual cropping modes, like auto by black or frame, and then manual crops by rectangle and by paper. For our demo purpose, we use crop by rectangle option and realize the output. Now we can save the processed image by clicking on File, Save As or Save option. Raster ID has its own unique and very powerful batch processing capability, which includes title block recognition as well. In order to demonstrate how batch processing works, we click on Tools and then on Virtual Scanner. The Virtual Scanner box pops up. We now need to specify the input file path, which contains the unprocessed images. Next, the script file has to be specified by clicking on the Script Studio icon. Here for the demonstration purpose, we have chosen CSoft.csf file, which already contains 4 commands in a row. These are deskew, crop, recognize title block, and speckle removal. You may want to add or remove commands as per your wish and save them. Once saved, I close the scripting files by clicking on Close and I'm redirected back to the Virtual Scanner window. We now need to decide what happens to the feed of the original image files post the process. You can either move them to a specified folder, have them deleted, or mark them as processed. Here I choose to mark them as processed and then click on the Close button. We would now need to specify an output target or an indexing output format, which will store the processed image in that form. This is done by clicking on Tools, Indexing Output. We have 5 different types of output formats defined in Raster ID. These are MS Excel, comma-separated text files, MS Access, ODBC output, and EDA or Electronic Drawing Archive. You can select multiple options together, like here we select both Excel and EDA and close the dialog box. Now again we have to click on the Virtual Scanner menu item to open up the Virtual Scanner window and start the process by clicking on the Start button. All the image files that were specified in the input folder would now be processed one by one in a batch as per the processing regulation chosen by us through the scripting file, which we had already mentioned before. Try remembering. In the scripting file, we have specified a few commands in a row like deskew, crop, recognize title block, and speckle removal. All the sets of these commands would now be executed with each of the input files just like a macro one by one at a time and would simultaneously be marked as processed and saved in the Excel format as well. This can be supervised real time in the text area below. If for some reason an image file does not get processed, the same would be reflected real time through the status area. Once all the image files gets processed, click on the Stop button and then on Close. The next inevitable step is to open the indexing output files. As you remember, the first one in this case would be the Excel output format. This is how the file looks like. It contains the original location of the image file, its preview, that is after being processed through the image enhancing macro defined in the CSoft file, It also contains a host of other fields like the angle, the drawing name, scale, drawing number, revision, and the sheet number. The second indexing file which we had chosen was EDA, the Electronic Drawing Archive, which is CSoft's own indexing software and demands a detailed overview, as I had already promised in the beginning. Let us first open the processed files using EDA. This is how the original window looks like. Click on the Viewer option on the menu bar and choose Inspector. The Inspector pane opens up. Now we have three principal panes: the Inspector, Drawing, and the Viewer. The Drawing pane will show all the processed files in the specific folder along with their revisions. Once a particular file is chosen from the Drawing pane, both the Inspector and the Viewer panes gets activated, as you can see. The Viewer pane now shows the contents of the image, and the Inspector pane will have the different kind of annotation and watermarking tools to mark and make revisions on a drawing. The images can be zoomed in and out. Once I click on the scale itself, and what I get is a data cursor from which I can easily evaluate the cursor positions with respect to the XY scale. You can draw a freehand contour to mark your object within the image as well, and specify the width of the contour by selecting the line width in the Inspector window. You can also input text annotations within the drawing for the marked portion and specify the markings with arrows as I've demonstrated. Last but not least, you're also provided with search and print option, wherein you can search files for its file name, its lock mechanism, revision, or scale. This can be done by clicking on the Filter Manager icon and selecting the field. Here we select the revision and enter the value, and click on OK. The specific drawing that is selected is shown in the drawing pane. I click on the revision value, and then I go on the menu item Drawing and select the Print Setup option. The Setup Printer dialog box opens up. You can then choose to print the file or its revision as per your wish. So this is a brief demonstration on Raster ID and EDA, or Electronic Drawing Archive. There are many more interesting aspects in this software. However, since our scope is now limited due to the size limitation of our video file, maybe next time we can show you some more interesting features on this software, and also some other softwares that have been developed by CSoft. So stay tuned, we are going to come back with a host of new additions that you're surely going to enjoy. Till then, goodbye and thank you for staying with us.